actually Tinubu gave office without finishing her NYC. Falana has come out to tell her that, look, your days are numbered. All those people that just put you there without following due process. The former finance minister, Adeosun, was sacked because of NYC issue. Today in Nigeria, if you don't have NYC, you cannot get job in public service except it's a private business. Okay? So how come they are giving this woman a ministerial portfolio without her finishing or doing her NYC? Because APC is a party of corruption, and no matter how corrupt you are, come to APC, your sins will be forgiven, according to Oshomole during 2019 campaign for Buhari. So Falana, let's see what Falana has more to say about this issue of Musawa. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana's son has warned the Minister of Art, Culture and Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, that her days in office have been numbered. Falana made the remarks in an undated essay entitled "The Supreme Court May Have Cut Short the Honorable Minister's Joy," attributed to him. The newly appointed Art and Culture Minister recently made headlines when it was revealed that she was still serving as a participant of the National Youth Service Corps, NYC, when she got a ministerial appointment by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It could be recalled that Musawa was the last ministerial nominee to be screened by Senator Godswill Akpabio's led Senate during screening. Now, the screening reportedly only asked Musawa to take a bow and go without interrogating her academic qualification, including the controversy surrounding her NYC discharge certificate. Shortly thereafter, the director of Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, Huriwa, Mr. Emmanuel Onwubiku, in a scathing statement made available to Newsband, said that the minister is a COP member with the following registration number FC 23A505 and currently posted to a law firm located in the Wuse area of Abuja. Onwubiku in the statement further disclosed that the 9th Senate rejected Musawa's nomination by former President Muhammadu Buhari as commissioner representing the Northwest at the National Pension Commission. Her inability to submit her NYC certificate was cited as reason for her rejection by the Ahmed Lawan-led Senate. Reacting to the hula baloo surrounding her appointment, the human rights lawyer Falana cited Section 2 of the National Youth Service Code, which mandated every citizen who has graduated at any tertiary institution in and outside Nigeria and is not 30 years of old to be mobilized for the 1-year compulsory National Youth Service, noting that persons above 30 are not eligible to participate in the service. He also cited Section 4, Subsection 9 of the NYC bylaws, revised 2011, which provides that every member shall not take part in partisan politics, adding that any member who takes part in partisan politics is liable to extension of service for a period not less than 3 months without pay. Further, he cited Section 13 of the Act, which provides that any person who fails to report for service in the service corps in the manner directed by the Directorate or who refuses to make himself available for service in the service corps is guilty of an offense and liable on conviction to a fine of 2,000 naira or to imprisonment for a term of 12 months or to both such fine and imprisonment. Falana pointed out that any person who is disqualified by law to be a lawmaker is also disqualified to be appointed as a minister. So he then cited the case of Modibo versus Usman and Oz, where the appellant contested and won election into the House of Rep while he was undergoing the National Youth Service Corps, and the Federal High Court ruled that a Youth Corps member was not qualified to contest election in Nigeria. So the Court of Appeal, however, set aside the judgment on the ground that a youth corps member is not constitutionally disqualified from contesting election. So the Supreme Court afterwards held that the Court of Appeal erred in law and affirmed the decision of the trial court. Having been proved to have contravened some provisions of the National Youth Service Act and bylaws, the Apex Court ruled, with a prison sentence hanging over his neck if he refuses to make himself available for his NYSC, the appellant cannot be a member of the House of Rep and Youth Corps at the same time. Drawing inspiration from the authoritative pronouncement of the Supreme Court that a youth corps member is not competent to contest an election in Nigeria, Falana concluded that a person who has not completed the compulsory one-year youth service is not competent to be appointed a minister in Nigeria, since the Constitution has prescribed the same qualification and disqualification for election into the House of Representatives and appointed into the post of a minister. Bam. By virtue of Section 2 of the National Youth Service Act, every citizen who has graduated at any tertiary institution in and out of Nigeria and is not 30 years old shall be mobilized for the one-year compulsory National Youth Service Corps. Any person above 30 is not eligible to participate in the National Youth Service Corps. Section 13 of the Act provides that any person who fails to report for service in the service corps, in the manner directed by the Directorate, or who refuses to make himself available for service in the service corps is guilty of an offense and liable on conviction to a fine of 2,000 naira or to imprisonment for a term of 12 months or to both such fine and imprisonment. So with all of this put together now, it is obvious that, this Musawa has failed, and definitely her days are numbered. Someone said, Nigeria, the law holds water when the poor are involved. There are a lot of issues surrounding even the president that are enough grounds for disqualification, and yet the judiciary seems to be dragging her feet on doing so. Okay. Black Belle San, what Musawa do you now? Can you imagine? Somebody say you decrease Mumu Banza. She broke the law, so she has to go. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.